So I'm Maggie C and I'm a Samaritan. I'm also a mental health advocate and activist, and I've set up an alliance called the Co-Alc Alliance with Nicola. Just going back a little bit, I met Nicola in December 2019 when I was designing a leaflet aimed at men's mental health and reducing men's suicide because of the suicide statistics in men. And she told me about her son who had died the previous March, and she loved what I was trying to do because it was specifically aimed at men, which there isn't an awful lot out there that really specifically aims at men's suicide prevention. So I met Nicola, and she told me all about Tom, her son, who she'd lost the previous March. And she told me about the circumstances, which were that he'd died during the come down after taking cocaine and alcohol together. And it reminded me of a conversation I'd had years ago with another lady called Nicola Abraham, from Cardiff, who set up the Jacob Abraham Foundation. And I realised that that there was a commonality here, and I couldn't understand why there wasn't more awareness about it. So long story short, we got together and started engaging on what she thought could improve about the leaflet and what we could maybe do to encompass more information. And then lockdown happened, and we were sat at each other's homes, mine in the Rhondda Valley and Nicola's in the Merthyr Valley, and we came up with an idea of just doing a survey. So we did a survey with 10 questions aimed at understanding more about the culture of cocaine and alcohol, and whether people were how prevalent it was, and whether there was more deaths by this of this nature. And we had an overwhelming response of 820 respondents from it, and it was from that we decided to set the Co-Alc Alliance up. One of the things that I guess has stood out to me with Nicola is through her own grief, which has been unbelievably dreadful for her, she's been able to set this foundation up for Tom Foundation charity. She's gone to college and doing counselling, and she's got grandchildren as well, and doing all this, juggling everything, caring for her family who are still, absolutely broken from this loss. And she's behind every campaign that we've ever done. She's a driving force in the reason why we set the campaign up. And I just think for anybody to have gone through that devastation and be so resolved about helping other people, she's completely determined to make sure that these issues are known widely. So it's absolute pleasure to work with her, and it's a privilege because I don't know where she gets her strength from. So for me, she epitomises the word hero.
My name's Nicola. I set up the For Tom Foundation in memory of my son Tom, we lost in March 2019. Tom took his own life after taking cocaine and alcohol. And very quickly, myself and my family decided we needed to do something to stop this happening to anybody else. So there was three main things we wanted to achieve, and that was to provide help to anybody who was struggling with their mental health, because we were aware that it was very costly and the availability is not great. So we wanted to make that more accessible. We wanted to raise the awareness of the cocaine and alcohol links to suicide, and hopefully get a public health campaign going, and also to help other families who have sadly been bereaved in the same way, and provide support, because we were supported by Tuish because Tom was under 25. But if Tom had been older, we wouldn't have had any support at all, so I wanted to do that. So we set up the charity in March 2019, and we presently support individuals across the Cwmtaf Morgannwg area. We provide free counselling, 8 sessions of free counselling to anyone struggling with their mental health. We have about 10 sessional counsellors working with us across the southeast area of Wales. And we also run support groups for people who've been bereaved by suicide. We currently run a monthly support group in the lower end of the Merthyr Valley. We set these up initially with a loneliness and isolation grant from Voluntary Action, Merthyr Tydfil, Merthyr Council. And now we're continuing with them because they proved to be really needed. And we're also doing them now in Bridgend, RCT, so Rhondda Valley and the Cannon Valley. We also provide mental health support to anyone who has lost somebody by suicide as well, with counselling. And we run training sessions to raise awareness of how to help somebody suffering with their mental health and suicide ideation. So it's completely voluntary. My daughter and my son advise me, but other than that, it's just me. But yeah, so that's the work that we're doing, and I'm just really thankful for the award. It's very humbling. It's bittersweet, obviously, but yeah, thank you.
Hello, I'm Heidi. I'm the manager here at Hope Pantry, along with Lisa, who's one of our 2 coordinators. Dylan can't be with us today. So we're just here to say a massive thank you to VAMT, firstly of all, for giving us this award. We are absolutely thrilled to be able to say thank you very much to all our amazing volunteers. We have between 35 and 40 volunteers who week in, week out, come rain or shine, come and volunteer here at Pantry. They give between 1 and 7 hours of their time, and we can't run Pantry without them.
From the very beginning of Pantry, so going back way when we started doing free food parcels, and then it morphed into Pantry, everything has needed volunteers, and our volunteers have been essential to everything that we've done. And we couldn't do anything without them. And so from the shelf stocking to the getting the food delivered and helping with the deliveries, from the free room, but our biggest thing that we love about our volunteers is the way they interact with our Pantry members. And so every Pantry member has someone that they kind of identify with on our volunteer staff. And so we're just really thankful for the way that they make people feel loved and at home. And so while people are desperate for food, it's relationship and it's connection that they really need. And so we're just really thankful that we've been gifted with so many amazing volunteers that do such a great job at making people feel welcomed and providing just an opportunity for people to get the food that they need as well.
I started a few months ago. I started as meet and greet, making a coffee and stuff, and then I was promoted then into the main room, and it's like a family here. You get to know what certain people like and dislike, and it's quite happy, and it's very joyful being here.
I volunteered a couple of months ago. I staffed the shelves with a number of other people and help with the deliveries that actually come in. So then we tend to organise it all and put it in the storerooms. I love working here because it's a really nice bunch of people. It's more than friends here. It's like a family. It really is. I love every moment I spend up here.
I come because I like supporting Heidi and Lisa with Pantry, and it gives me a sense of purpose and just a place to be, really, and I love it. It's lush.
My name is Mike Wilkinson. I'm the Deputy Chief Executive of New Pathways. For those of you that aren't aware of New Pathways and our work, we support people affected by rape and sexual abuse. Now, we were established 30 years ago this year, actually. It's our anniversary, something we're very proud of. And we were established in Merthyr Tydfil back in 1993. So Merthyr is our spiritual home, and regardless of having offices throughout Wales, we still regard this as the place where we call home. We're here today to celebrate the achievements of our chairperson, Alison Smith. Now, Alison has been with the organisation as a volunteer on our Board of Trustees for many, many years. However, about 5 years ago, she took over the role as chairperson for New Pathways. Now, a leader of any good organisation really needs the support of people around them. People that you can bounce ideas off, people that give you strength, people that guide you. Now, Alison does all of those things in bucket loads, frankly. She's a very busy woman. She's got a busy day job. She works for Action for Children, something she's very passionate about. However, despite having a busy home life as well, she always finds time to support the work of New Pathways and to support us as managers of this charity. She is a really deserving winner of this award. She always goes over and above. Perhaps the best indication in that she should be the recipient of this award is that she will be mortified by the fact that she's been nominated and that she's won this award, because she does not seek the attention herself, but she does an amazing amount of work to support others. So we're delighted to be here and to support Alison in this.
Well, I'm Alison Smith and I am Chair of the Board of Trustees for New Pathways. I've actually been on the board since 2014, so it's 9 years now since I joined the organisation, and I was elected Chair in December 2019 and again re-elected earlier this year. My time here has been incredible. I think when you know the impact that New Pathways has on our clients, when you know the level of demand for sexual violence counselling, when you see the level of victims and the number of victims that are coming forward in the UK and Wales in particular, it is so sobering and so heartbreaking that to be involved with this organisation who does so much for the well-being of their clients, it means the world to me. As a trustee, I'm there to be a sounding board for the CEO, particularly in my role as chair. And as a trustee, it's so important to take the role seriously. It is a serious role. New Pathways, I've already outlined, is a fantastic charity, but we have to, as a board of trustees, make sure that it's governed correctly, that it's open and transparent in everything that it does, and very importantly, it adheres to its vision. Now, New Pathways has a very lofty vision, which is to see a world without sexual violence. That is a huge thing to ask of society, but this organisation will always strive to educate people, to train people, and most importantly, to counsel people who have been victims of sexual violence. So it's a great organisation. It means the world to me. I'm on a board with 5 other trustees who feel the same way. And you know, it's a sort of organisation that once you start being involved, you never want to leave. As the Chair of Trustees of New Pathways, I really want to say thank you to our incredible, dedicated team of staff and volunteers. They work tirelessly for the victims of sexual violence, and I am so proud of them all. I am so honoured to be put forward for this award. It means the world to me, literally. To be recognised by Merthyr, where we started out as an organisation 30 years ago, is incredible. I've never been nominated for anything like this before, so it's thrilling for me, and yeah, it's very special.
I'm Janice Watkins. I'm a participation officer at Safer Merthyr Tydfil, and I work with young people. Sami Farid came to work with us for 5 years ago, and when he came, he was very shy and lacking in self-confidence. Since then, he has done a lot of work with us, and he has become the youth mayor and led on many projects. He's been totally committed in everything he does, and he's been an absolute role model for young people. He's worked with his peers for them to gain their self-confidence, and he has also worked with the deputy youth mayor, as she was and is now the youth mayor, to help her to succeed and follow on from him. Sami is an excellent candidate for this award, and I'm so pleased that he has won it.
Hi, I'm Sami Farid. I'm now the former youth mayor of Tidwell and a volunteer with the Youth Cabinet and the Snakes and Ladders project. When I first started volunteering a few years ago, I was an incredibly shy, anxious young man who wasn't very sure of himself. But through the experiences of volunteering, all the projects I've worked on, around mental health, the environment, and everything in between, I've managed to develop the skills to become a much more confident and able young man who has been able to be the youth mayor and run the campaign and win that, and use that opportunity to speak at events, speak on behalf of young people, and to really see the impact of young people in this town. I would recommend the opportunity to volunteer, not just in Youth Cabinet or as Youth Mayor, but just throughout life, to anyone, because the skills it provides you are absolutely amazing, and there's nothing else quite like it.
Hello, my name's Diane Casey. I'm Treasurer or Financial Secretary, as they call me now, of the Friends Wednesday Club. We meet in the Gurness every Wednesday, and this club has been doing so for the last 32 years. And throughout the whole of those 32 years, Carol Thomas has been the chairwoman. She was one of the founder members. She and a few friends got together because they were at home in the day and felt that there was a need for somewhere for people who were isolated or lonely or young mothers that needed other company to go to. They used their own money in the beginning and applied after they'd been going for so many months, which had to be done then, for things like crockery and chairs and what have you. And over the years, we have actually grown at one point to over 100 members when we were at the community centre in the Gurness. But of course, with COVID and elderly people passing away, unfortunately, the numbers are less. But throughout it all, Carol has stayed our chair lady and our linchpin, I have to say that. This is the reason I have nominated Carol for the Outstanding Award, because throughout the whole of that time, she called the club the Friends, because that is exactly what we are. We know we can depend on each other for anything. We can come to each other if we've got woes or troubles, and somebody will try and sort it out, or just sit and listen and have a chat with us. She's an unbelievable organiser. She just doesn't be chairwoman of this club. She organises all sorts of things. She has an invalid husband at home. She's raised 7 children, and she's held on a job as a cook, as well as running this club and doing various other organisational things with various other groups as well over the years. For that, I felt that the Outstanding Award should go to someone like Carol, because she has spent virtually all of her adult life volunteering for something or another. Thank you.
My name is Carol Thomas. I'm the chair of the Friends Wednesday Club, and have been for the last 32 years. My colleague Diane, who is now the treasurer, who I got to know through her mum. Her mum was a member, and her mum was the vice chair of the club for many years until we lost her some years back. And Diane, whereas I looked after and loved Ivy, Diane does that now for me. She looks takes she's just there as a very good friend. And I didn't know any of this. She had just did it. And then she rang me and told me what she'd done. And then I thought, I didn't think any more about it. But then she came back off holidays week before last, and she rang me and said, I got some good news for you. She said, you have been, you have won the award. Oh, so that was very nice. But like I said, I was speechless because what I have done over the years, I've never thought being rewarded in any way at all, because my reward is here and now and in the past with all the wonderful, wonderful friends and people I have met and made through the club. And the club is, it's more of a family unit than, because everybody is, you can see from the atmosphere, everybody is friendly, and if one is hurting, we all hurt, and we all sort of put in together and help each other that way, you know, by being there for each other. I just get full up over that, because all I ever wanted was to see everybody happy. In a way, it came out of a bit of sadness. My mother had passed away, and all of a sudden I didn't seem to have, I know people will think this is stupid, but I didn't seem to have enough to do. And I thought, oh, what can I do, what can I do? And when this thing came up, I always went to church, and when this idea came up from the people going to church, I thought, yes, I will try it. And that's how I've done it for, in a way. It was a bit selfish. It was me wanting to be needed again. Although I was needed with my children, it was, it's hard to explain. I just seen the need, and I could see the need for it, because the people and how to change the people's lives that come here, you know. By being nominated for this award by Diane, I feel very humble, very happy, and to be honest, I just can't believe it, because I feel I'm under false pretenses, because all the 32 years, I think I've had more out of this than I put into it by the amount of happiness that I've given to other people.